Hello, this is Mrs. Moslick. This is the Geometry Q3 project, part 2 of the Trigonometry project. You should have already done the work for problem 2. This is the second part of that problem where you are going to check your work using GeoGebra. I am going to show you an example of a problem like your number 2. First of all, go to geogebra.org and then sign in with Google. So press sign in with at the upper right hand of your screen, then sign in with Google. And you guys have an account already. So once you sign in, go to the upper right hand. You should see your icon and then click on the 9 squares or the 3x3. And we're going to open up the Geometry app. Once you're in the Geometry app, make sure that you are signed in. So I'm just going to click that one more time. Just double check that your icon is there. And I'm going to sign in. And it should take it fine. So now I see my icon. So just make sure you're in. And then we are going to go to the, we are going to construct your picture. Now, just to let you know what picture I have, I'm going to draw it and I'm going to use a tool down here. You can just watch me do this. Now I'm going to be using my mouse, so it's really poor, but I am going to draw in a picture that looks like yours. It's not drawn well, but it'll give you the idea of what we have. So in your problem, you are supposed to find the height given some indirect measurements. For instance, a person stands here and gets a angle of elevation reading. In my problem, it will be 65 degrees. Yours will have a different angle measure. Then that person can't, for some reason, not take the measurement directly, vertically, maybe it's too tall, and for some reason they can't figure out that measurement directly to the base of the object. Maybe there's a lake here or there's a big boulder or something. So the person walks backwards, let's say by 12 feet. Now on your problem, you have a different measurement here, and then takes another angle of elevation reading. In this case, on mine, it's going to be 42 degrees. So those are my measurements, but it's the same overall look as your picture for problem 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to construct this. So I'll go to the pointer key. What we're going to construct first is the line segment. So let's go ahead and find lines. And when you go to lines, if we look at segment, we want a segment with a given length. So click on that. And let's just start at the kind of the bottom part of your screen. And I'm going to click down and I'll say I want it length 12. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the pointer. We are done with that 12. I'm just going to verify that that is indeed 12. So I went back to the pointer and then I'm going to go to the measure part of the tools and click on distance or length. And let's go ahead and go from A to B, and it should give you that length. I'm going to go to the pointer so I can move and drag that length down. I'm also going to put the point A and the point B down. At this point, I'm going to draw in a ray. In the ray, I'm going to find in the line part of our tools. So click on ray. I'm going to go from A in the B direction. Go back to your pointer. Now we're ready to make our first angle. Let's make the 42 degrees. So if I want to make a particular measurement of an angle, I'm going to go to the measure icon of the tools and click on angle with given size. I'm going to go from A to B, and then they'll tell us what that third vertex is. Like if you think about a vertex of a triangle, from A to B, from B to A, I'm going counterclockwise. So I'm going to put in my 42 degrees counterclockwise, and they give me this B prime. So I will go back into pointer mode, and I want to construct a ray. So I go into the lines category, click on ray, and I'm going from A to B prime. go to pointer. So I am going to now drag out that angle. So it's looking more like my picture. I just need one more angle, that's 65. Well, remember, when we drew or constructed 42 degrees, I had to go from a point to that vertex. So I'm going to have to go from a point to this vertex B. So let's just put a point on the object. So point on this line. Let's make a point way out here. So point out here on the object. Okay, so we're good to go on that. Go back to our pointer. Now we're ready to create the angle of 65 degrees. So we were going to go to the measure part of our tools and then angle with a given size. Click on that and we'll go from C to B, and then I want to go counterclockwise again, and I'll do 65 degrees. Okay, and I am going to go to pointer. I don't see where that went, so I'm going to go into pointer, and I'm going to, you know how you guys can, on your touch screen, you can move it in and out. On my mouse pad, this is not a touch screen computer screen that I have, but I do have a mouse pad, so I can go in and out. So I find that C prime up here. So I'm going to have to construct a ray from B to C prime. So ray, that's down in the line category in the tools. Click on the icon for ray and go from B to C prime. And now go back to pointer. So we have now constructed a really good picture so far. We just need to figure out what that point is. So I need a point here, and I'm not just going to click on it. I have to make sure that GeoGebra constructs that point. So it's an intersection point. So go in the points category and click on intersect, and you will click on both rays, ray AB prime, and click on ray BC prime. And now we have that point of intersection. Go back to the pointer. The last thing I need to do is to construct a perpendicular to this base. And so I'm going to go from a point perpendicular to this ray AB. So I'm going to go up to the top part of my icon, my tool icons, and we're going to look at construct. We want GeoGebra to construct a perpendicular line from a point. So we'll use this icon called perpendicular line. Click on that. We'll click on D and we'll click on ray AB. And we have created or constructed that perpendicular, and I need to figure out what that point is. Again, don't just put a point there. We're going to construct that intersection point. So go into the points category, click on intersect, and we are going to click on that perpendicular line and that ray AB. And now we have created the point. Note that I'm going back to the pointer. Last thing I need to do is, again, I'm in pointer. You guys see that we have this picture that looks much better. It's been constructed. We want to find out what DE's length is. So we are going to go to the measure icon and click on distance or length and go from D to E or from E to D. And that is our answer. A reminder, when you are answering your questions for this project, all of your answers have to be rounded to 3 decimal places. If this is not rounded to 3 decimal places, make sure you go to the settings tool and click on settings 3 times. So this, then go to settings again, and then go to settings one more time. And the rounding should be to 3 decimal places. Again, I would just put it as safe settings. So every time you open up a new geometry app in GeoGebra, it's always going to be having that setting. Furthermore, I just want to make sure I'm still in the pointer mode. So the move, I want to make this red. My final answer, let's make sure for our project, our final answer is in red. I'm going to right click it, go to settings, and I can just put the color as red. Now you can make it bigger and fancy, but as far as I need to know, I just want it clear and it's red, okay? So I am going to now save my my file. So let's go to the upper left main menu, and we're going to go to save. We will all title it similarly. We're going to start with capital Qtr for quarter, and then 3. And then we'll put in problem, and this will be 2. And this will be first name, then last name. So I'm going to put in my first name. You put in your first name and then your last name, and then put in your block hour number. So my block number, let's say, is 02. Make sure that when you're saving, it's under shared, and then press save. We are not done yet. We need to put in our picture of our solution. Now I'm looking at the bottom left and I want to make sure it's saved successfully before I move on. So our next part is, and again, make sure you're in move. So I'm going to just move this over. I'm going to insert my solutions right here. And so to do that, you should have already done the work for problem 2 and take a picture of it. And I am going to find that picture. So I go to media, image. I'm going to choose my file, and this is example number 2. Yours would be problem number 2. And do I have the same answer? I do. I have this 18.625. Perfect. That's what I want to see. I want to see the same answer. Make sure that they're situated so it's pretty easy for me to read, see your work, and see both answers quickly. Now we have to save this. So make sure it's titled correctly, shared, and then save. So we are all set with this part of the project. All you have to do now is make sure that it has been saved successfully and it's in the shared setting. And we are going to now put this link into Canvas. So go to the main menu, go to share, and copy this link into the Canvas module that's called the Qtr3 project problem 2. I hope this was helpful.